You know, we have this mindset in society where, success is based on the type of house you have, or success is how much horsepower your car has, right? And if you can get that mentality out of your mind. Hello everyone, this is Ron in Blue, just taking my daily walk here today. And today's topic would be in stopping to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm bringing up this topic because a lot of us are in situations, especially in our younger days, especially us, when we were young, we were always living paycheck to paycheck. And it was very hard for us, especially when you're young and you first graduate and you get that first paycheck. It's a great feeling because you're no longer relying on your parents anymore. You're making your own money and you're purchasing your own stuff. I mean, you deserve it because you work so hard at it. But then after a while, you notice that you're living paycheck to paycheck. And you're not the only one, actually. A lot of people actually live paycheck to paycheck. And roughly about 8 out of 10 of us actually live paycheck to paycheck. And we're relying so much on our paychecks to pay for our bills. And it's a very scary existence to be in. And but there's a number of different kinds of lessons to learn from this as well. It's not all that bad because you learn to identify that you got to cut back on certain things in your lifestyle, where you got to start saving again. And I think the number one point to bring up would be to budget. And no one really likes the B word, budgeting. That's depriving yourself, but you'll find that once you start budgeting, you can see exactly what's coming in and what's coming out. You can use an Excel form if you wanted to. It takes just a couple hours for you to set up. You can also use a whole bunch of money apps for free that you can download, and it's awesome. There's certain apps where you can have every family member use as well, so you can have a way to track all of your family spending as well. But speaking about you specifically, budgeting is really important to do. You'll start to recognize your own buying behaviors, and I emphasize behavior because that's what it essentially is. Whether or not you can have the discipline to stop using that credit card, creating money from nothing, and start managing your money more effectively towards things that are probably in the longer run more beneficial for you. So creating that budget, although a lot of people don't like the B word, is a lifesaver in the longer term for sure. So another way to get out of that paycheck to paycheck existence is by making things automatic, making your savings automatic. So you can actually go straight into your checkings account and set up automatic payments, and every time you can set it on a weekly basis, even a daily basis, definitely on a monthly basis, and you can reroute those funds to be directed somewhere else. Like what I highly suggest you do is to create a brokerage account, and you can actually automate your payments directly from your checkings account to a brokerage account. So, and what that does is, once you find that there's a sufficient amount of funds within your brokerage account, you can start buying stocks that give out dividend paying stocks. So, and it'll add to your passive income stream on a monthly basis. So but the key word here would be to pay yourself first, make things automated. And you can also get your 401k, company matching 401k, to be automated as well. You can simply set that up with your company through human resources, and they will definitely make sure there's a certain percentage deducted from your paycheck, and they will match it or give you a certain percentage every month. It's free money from the company, so it's a great little relationship you can have for your retirement fund. So what you can also do is just to put your savings somewhere else, you know, make it so it's very, very difficult for you to tap into. You can even ask somebody you trust to manage that for you by giving them your access card or debit card or whatever, and you know, they can actually stop you from accessing those funds. It could be kind of like an emergency fund as well. So you know, if you have a car accident, for example, or you need car maintenance, you can tap into it. Maybe you lost your job and you're unemployed, and so you need to tap into those funds as well. So yeah, you can make a relationship with someone you really trust and keep funneling your savings into that account as well. So it's a great way to keep yourself motivated because there's somebody else managing your funds for you. So, but another point to get yourself out of being in that paycheck to paycheck existence would be to cut back on your spending. So downsizing would be an option as well. You know, you should only put about 28% towards your housing, and some people actually overspend, especially when they hit their 40s. They start spending extra onto doing interior design for their homes, to the point where it doesn't really benefit them in the longer term. It's always best to just maintain what you can for the house, not looking at major renovations, because in the longer term it actually kind of hurts you. But the point is, downsizing might be an option for you as well. Some people choose to downsize from a full-size home to, let's say, an apartment, because when you do so, not only do you downsize on that size, but your utilities actually go down as well, because there's a lot less space to heat up or to cool down, so you won't be using that air conditioner as much. That you know, is costly at the end of the month. So there's definitely tons of different ways you can downsize on your lifestyle. You can also downsize on the transportation as well. Instead of having 2 cars, you can reduce it down to 1 car. I mean, it costs a lot of money to maintain a car on a monthly basis, because you have to deal with you know, maintenance, insurance, you know, and really most of the time your vehicle sits idling. Probably 90% of the time it just sits there. How useful is that? And a lot of the millennials in Generation X are, you know, taking advantage of services like Uber, you know, and scooters and bicycles. I mean, bicycles is a great way to get from point A to B. A lot of people use the bicycle because, well, not only do you save on gasoline, but you also save on get some exercise as well. So a lot of benefits you can use. Maybe in larger cities, you can use the bicycle during the spring and summer seasons, and then during the winter season you just use public transport, you know, the train or the buses. So, and plus, the more stuff that you have in your life, the more you have to worry about it, right? Like your car. Whenever the car breaks down, it's pretty expensive to get even a flat tire changed. So you'll be able to think about other things as well by taking those things out of your life. And another way to stop from you living paycheck to paycheck would be to save all of your raises and save all your bonuses and save your tax returns, right? And we did that every single year, and it was an awesome decision to do so. So a lot of people, when they do get promoted or, you know, they get a pay raise, they start spending more, and that's the worst thing you can do. You know, the best thing you can actually do is to maintain the lifestyle that you have, even if you get that raise, you get that promotion, and then, you know, put those funds towards something that's a lot more beneficial for you. You know, we kind of have this mindset, for me anyways, everyone's different, but you know, we have this mindset in society where, you know, success is based on the type of house you have, or success is how much horsepower your car has, right? And if you can get that mentality out of your mind of competition, you know, it's freeing. For me, I mean, I don't have the nicest of clothing on, but I am a millionaire. So I put all of my funds towards investing, because I don't really care too much about status, and I care more about freedom and being financially free. So that's the lifestyle that we chose, and it's absolutely awesome because you don't have to worry about competition at all, competition of others, because you'll know what your worth would be. But another way to stay out of living paycheck to paycheck would be to maybe work with somebody you really trust. You know, it could be yeah, like a friend or family member, and it really motivates you when you work with somebody else. And maybe your friend also has some goals, financial goals as well, the same as you, so you can set up those goals together and manage your financial future together. So it's a great relationship to be in, and you can kind of make it a competition as well, who can save the most on a monthly basis, and it becomes fun after a while. And you don't really have to feel like you're depriving yourself either. So you just have to make it kind of like a game. I kind of miss that life that we were living before, towards our journey to financial independence, because we always try to manage ways to save money where we can, and it was fun to do so. So what you can also do is you can work with your spouse as well. You're gonna have a number of different goals ahead of you, especially once you get married. You know, you have to work together with that dual income that you get, and maybe it could be a house purchase, or it could be children in your future as well. So whatever the case may be, you want to set up those goals together, and it'll definitely, once you have a goal in place, you definitely won't have that mentality of, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. And our goal was actually to you know, reach financial independence, and to also live abroad in another country to lower our cost of living. So right now we're hopping from one country to the next. It's a little bit delayed right now because of the disease, but that's what our motivation is at this time. So you always have to have that clear goal on what you're going to do. What you also need to be is you need to also be very patient with yourself as well. It's very hard, especially if you're saving paycheck to paycheck. It's really based on your behavior, and most of the time it is based on your behavior. So, you know, when you pull out that credit card, you want that instant gratification. You want to be able to buy anything and everything. But when you put yourself into that financial trap, it's really hard to get out of. So you have to be very patient with yourself, and also disciplined to really be mindful of what you purchase, and to definitely live below your means, and seeing how it would benefit you in the future. So those are very, very key points that you want to focus on, especially if you're looking for growing your retirement fund. But you may also be wanting to become patient enough to figure out things yourself, do it yourself. Like if you had some maintenance issues within your home or your car, you can there's a number of different resources on YouTube that you can refer to do it yourself. And I definitely use YouTube all the time. I mean, I saw this one YouTube where there's this guy who built a Cessna, and you know, that's amazing. You can learn how to build a Cessna on YouTube. But the point is, there's a number of different resources where you can figure out how to do it yourself and save a lot of money in the longer term. just by being a little bit more patient with yourself. There is a learning curve, of course, but if you're patient with yourself, you can learn to develop these skills, which will be beneficial for you in the future. So, you know, even fixing a sink, once you know that skill, you'll know how to fix it in the future as well without having to call that plumber. And another point to living that life outside of the paycheck to paycheck existence would be to stop using your credit card and depending on it, like even for your emergencies. You know, you definitely have to have an emergency fund as well, extra cash whenever you have those car maintenance issues or maintenance you have to fix within your home. Other than, a lot of people actually go directly to their credit cards and with the mentality of having to pay it off at a later date, which is very dangerous because you just keep adding to the debt. But you can manage all of the loans that you have too. You know, you have to be mindful for all of the loans in your life, like the car loan and subscriptions as well. You might want to look at your subscriptions. And those small little things are kind of like a leak in a tire. You might not notice it, and you want to actually really be mindful of what you're paying for, because sometimes you forget. And there's also the gym pass as well. Some people forget that they're still paying for their gym pass, the gym that they no longer go to. So, and some people actually choose to use cash instead of using the credit card, because the stats actually show that by using cash you're spending 30% less. Interesting enough. Makes sense, right? Because you only have a certain fixed amount of money within your wallet when you use cash. But with a card you can go well above that and spend 30% more than you initially thought you would spend. Some people even cut up their credit cards as well, you know, especially if you have multiple credit cards. I mean, every organization you go to will try and always promote their credit cards so you can start spending, and the credit card companies have these dividends, these benefits. But the thing is, the only way you can benefit from those benefits is if you spend more money. And where's the benefit of that? You're being tricked by the credit card companies, pushing you to spend more, right? A lot of people are not mindful for that. They only really focus on the dividends that they get from the company. But in fact, in order to get that dividend, you have to spend more, and the only people who actually benefit are the companies. So keep that in mind next time you make a purchase. Well, I think I end my vlog here today. Tell me what you think of all of the points I mentioned today on getting out of that paycheck to paycheck existence in the comment section below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. Be free, gain wealth, and travel far.